Yeah, they were building it up like he had a shot at the title. Like he was like the guy going in that had the shot to win it.
And I gotta admit, I came this close. Like I said, I came this close to predicting that, you know what, maybe this is when they're going to change the title. This is when they're going to give Hideo Itami the push that he deserves. But thankfully I didn't go for that in the prediction show. Because I would have been way off.
Because of someone else who basically gave his notice. Okay, that gave I think that helped give Hideo Itami it was the impetus to have Hideo Itami be like, all right, I'm done too. That's it. But,
very well possible.
But basically, let's face it, okay? Hideo Itami's been there for how long? 5 years now? 4 or 5 years?
Injuries delayed his rush in NXT.
Yeah.
He's barely gotten on the main roster at this point.
So it's one of those, he wasn't going to go anywhere. He knows this. The WWE knows this. So they were, for him, they were like, okay, fine. Here's your release. Go have fun. That's it. But this basically was the match of the pre-show. Here's your actual appetizer. Mm-hmm. Okay, this was really good, as cruiserweight matches normally are. Mm-hmm. Okay, they did the whole everybody hits their finisher end game. Mm-hmm. Okay, and Buddy Murphy came out on top, as we believed he would, and now we can move on to whatever he's going to do for WrestleMania season. Mm-hmm.
Which is sure to be something dazzling, and hopefully we'll get either a new face in the title picture or even a new champion.
Hopefully at this point it goes on the main card so that the cruiserweights can actually get a WrestleMania-worthy payday. Because if anybody's earned it this year, it's Buddy Murphy. Mm.
And now moving on to the main roster, we had Asuka defeating Becky Lynch and retaining her championship,
which had a
tap out,
which had a weird ending when you first saw it, but it all made sense by the time the Women's Royal Rumble came around, because you know that Becky Lynch was watching what happened to Lana. Mm-hmm. When this will all come back around by the time we talk about the Women's Royal Rumble. But you knew that she was watching, so Becky Lynch, yes, she's going hard, wants the title. Okay, but if Asuka's going to lock in her Asuka lock, mm-hmm. Becky Lynch is like, I've got another opportunity here. I've got another opportunity here, and let's face it, I'd love to be SmackDown Women's Champion again. I would love to, mm-hmm. but I have the opportunity to go against Ronda Rousey for the Raw Women's title, and yeah, I'll tap out. That's good.
It's funny though, because I feel like not a lot of people who I heard responding to this match really picked up on that. Like, some people just thought it was, oh, she tapped out too fast.
Like, you remember, while we were watching it, I was like,
You called it right away.
I was like, yeah, she's coming back. She knows. She would love to beat Asuka to become SmackDown Women's Champion. But there's a bigger fish out in the sea. So if she does, per se, if she is able to lock in this hold, not going to fight it. Go ahead. Yeah. I do like
makes her a very cunning wrestler. If that is the case, if that ever comes up again, she can very easily turn to that excuse, say, "Hey, I saw the writing on the wall. There was a potential vacancy. And I got, like you said, I got bigger fish to fry. I want you, Ronnie." And so I did.
And here's the deal. Okay, there was a great sequence in this match where Asuka goes for the disarmer. Becky Lynch reverses it into the Asuka lock, and they're just going back and forth into each other's finishing moves. And I'm like, ooh,
sassy.
And the match itself was good, as you would expect from Asuka and Becky Lynch, but the ending kind of brought it down a little bit. But when you think about it later on, and really put everything into perspective. The ending actually, for me, makes the match better.
It does.
Because it's all coming together at this point. Suddenly, everything about Shinsuke and Rusev makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
On that night, at least. And as soon as what happened in the Women's Royal Rumble happened, suddenly everything came together.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been a long time since we've had a story go throughout a pay-per-view like that and have everything make sense.
Mm-hmm.
So, are the WWE going to play it up that way? Probably not. But I'm going to... that is my headcanon. What happened in those two matches to lead up to the Royal Rumble, that's my headcanon. That's it.
Okay, then. All right, now moving on to the next match, we've got The Miz and Shane McMahon defeating The Bar to become the new Raw Tag Team Champions.
SmackDown.
Wow. SmackDown Tag Team Champions. I'm a scholar.
Yeah. You're drunk on championship power. That's what you are.
Yes, you caught me.
Yes.
But yeah, this match went pretty much the exact way I expected it to. Miz being the workhorse, Shane McMahon pulling out the big stuff, and ultimately using that to become the new tag team champions of SmackDown, and ultimately opening the door to all these different new possibilities leading up into WrestleMania time.
This was the definition of perfectly acceptable wrestling. Nothing great. Except for that shooting star at the end, that was great. Mm-hmm. That was good. Like, that's a 50-year-old man being able to do a shooting star press and getting height on it. That's pretty good. I like that.
Kudos to you, Shane O'Mac. You still got it.
But this was fine. Nothing more, nothing less. This did the job it was supposed to do, and I don't think it made the Bar look bad. I really don't.
Yeah. Again, perfectly serviceable. I think for me personally, this was around the point in the show where I realized, not just me, but I feel like most of the people watching are just waiting for Becky to do something. They're waiting for something to happen. They're waiting for Becky to do something. They're waiting for a big moment from the Royal Rumble match. Like, all the focus is on these moments. The crowd wants these specific moments, and there's very few people who could have dissuaded them otherwise of that flavor of what they want.
Because that's the blessing and the curse for having someone so over that they take over the company. Okay? It does hurt your show. It does. Because people are going out and wrestling, and good wrestling, and people don't care. Because they just want to see what this person's going to do next. And it's a blessing and it's a curse, because it's a blessing because you actually have that person, and that person is going to make you money. And that it's not like it's someone who doesn't know what they're doing either. So it's like it's a really good person to have that kind of power. But it hurts the matches that she's not in, because even in the title matches later on, okay, that it affected them. It affected them because there was burnout involved. So it's a blessing, it's a curse, all in between.
Yeah, it's, to me, the flow of the match and where it is on the card can also affect this feeling too. And as for this next match, Ronda Rousey defeating Sasha Banks for the Raw Women's title. This was one of those matches that defies that normal mentality, where even though, people generally like Ronda, people generally tend to like Sasha, all the focus is on the Becky Lynches of the world. This is one of those cases where you stop that just by being so damn good at what you do.
Yeah.
This match was really exciting to watch, even though I think most of us figured what the result would be. this is one of those things where, even though I personally see an upper echelon of the women's division, like, to me, there's 4 big names in the women's division right now: Ronda Rousey, Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair, Asuka. Those are the 4 biggest threats. I sort of thought for a while, I used to love Sasha, I still do, but she almost seemed like she was taking a back seat for a while, tagging with Bayley, feuding with Bayley, and then switching it around once again.
And especially now that we know what's most likely going to happen at Elimination Chamber next month. So, you knew going in, everybody knew going in, there's no way that Ronda Rousey is losing this match. There's no way.
No.
But,
however,
the crowd at the beginning of the match didn't care. Beginning of the match.
Mm-hmm.
But, as you said, once Sasha Banks actually started hurting Ronda Rousey, and they made, like, analysts and marks and all that, we all knew that Sasha wasn't going to win, but she put doubt in the minds of the casuals who were at the show, and the casuals started getting really into it.
And because that's a testament to how good Sasha Banks truly is. We've seen her with some wistful moments where she was crying when she was like, "Oh, this is great for women. This is such a moment in history."
But when she's being the boss, when she is being that heel character that she was in NXT, when she's bringing out the bitch in her, okay, that's why I don't like her as a face. I don't. It doesn't work for me, because when she brings out the bitch, that's when she's the best that she can be. And she brought out the bitch. She brought it out hard the last 3 weeks, and it took a really weak. Like, I don't think what Ronda did to Sasha Banks should have finished it off, because her body didn't even make a sound as it hit the mat. Like, that was weak. But it makes sense that she wouldn't be able to go for the armbar because she was too hurt.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it made sense that she was able to lift her up and dump her on the ground, but it what Sasha Banks did here was, even if you didn't believe she was going to win, she made people in the crowd who don't know anything about the backstage working of wrestling, she made them believe that she could win, and that's the victory here, because people went into the match not caring, because soon Becky Lynch, they had a feeling that something was going to happen more important in the women's division later.
Absolutely.
But by the end of the match, they cared about the match, and that's the victory here.
And I have to believe that I have to give Sasha kudos for everything that she did, even just leading up to this match, where she was sort of gracious, but then she immediately went into like, as
soon as Ronda said the wrong thing, the bitch came out. It was great.
She played her part absolutely perfectly, from her mannerisms to her tone of voice to prolonging. She's got also has great body language where she knows what to do to, like, she's ready to go off at the beginning of a match.
I like you. It's one of those, like, I like you, but you say the wrong thing, I've got the bitch. It's right here, ready to come out. Go ahead, say it. And then Ronda said it, and it was bam, there.
Everything I just said about there being like a upper echelon of the top four,
I think it's always been 5.
Sasha reminds me, and she reminded the entire crowd and the entire industry, that if she wants to, all she needs to do is just flip a switch, and bam, there's a 5th woman in the top echelon. She can do it at any time, and she's still every bit as good as she ever was. And she just proved that at the Royal Rumble.